Revenue Services is threatening to take legal action against a veteran journalist and writer, Jacques Pauw. SARS says Pauw contravened the Tax Administration Act. The act prevents anyone from divulging information about a person's taxes. Speaking to SABC News, SARS spokesperson Sandile Memela says they will also look into Pauw's allegations on SARS Commissioner Moyane.
As SARS, we see this as a clear contravention of the law, and because we are the tax administration, we cannot be seen to be just folding our arms when this sort of thing happens. We want to reiterate that and emphasize that the publication of such information is unlawful. Much as you too will be aware that a thought or an intention is not an act in itself. As SARS, we are seeking legal counsel on what next steps to take as far as this contravention is concerned. Let's be clear that this is actually opening up the author and the publication to a criminal and or civil claim. And as SARS, we're talking to our legal counsel to see what steps can be taken to implement that prosecution process if need be. And of course, we want to establish how and when did the author and the publication obtain this information, and we take them to court. Now, let me emphasize that information pertaining to any taxpayer's affairs, be it the president of a country or a taxi driver who earns more than 350,000 rands per annum, can only be divulged or revealed through a judicial process. And even if there is a case in court, the information can only be divulged or shared or revealed when you have obtained a court of the High Court, an order of the High Court, and in this instance this hasn't happened.
I'm just trying to understand the technicalities of this. So you cannot discuss a taxpayer's affairs as SARS, but you're saying this person divulged or revealed information about President Jacob Zuma, almost as though perhaps that information was true and perhaps he didn't pay his tax for 5 years. How do we believe what SARS is saying when your response to our questions perhaps about the president's tax affairs is that you cannot discuss his tax affairs?
Well, look, the situation as it stands now, and this is the reality, is that both the author of the book and the publication, a national publication, have allegedly revealed confidential taxpayers' information. This is against the law. And unfortunately, as SARS, we have to look at this. However, as the tax administration, we are not in a position to confirm or deny whether what they have published is true or not, because by so doing we too will be contravening the law. And it is for this reason that we are engaging our legal counsel to decide on the way forward. This is a highly technical matter, but what we want to emphasize is that revelation or publishing of a taxpayer's information is confidential and is not allowed by law. And that is why we want to talk to our lawyers and then chart the way forward.
How do we balance the Tax Administration Act, which you've spoken about, which prohibits the disclosure of taxpayer information by a SARS official or former SARS official, with a very real need as citizens to know whether our president is implicated in so-called tax dodging while maintaining the law?
Yeah, of course, this is a very complicated matter, but at the same time, one can say that we appreciate the need for the public to know, and it's what the media calls a public interest. But like as far as the president is concerned, one can say he was in parliament yesterday and answered various questions that were put to him, some of course pertaining to this issue, and one doesn't have the mandate to speak on his behalf. However, much as the public needs to know. We need to acknowledge and recognize that we live in a constitutional democracy. Everybody is equal before the law. The president, of course, is expected to pay his taxes like everybody else. However, SARS cannot tell or discuss whether he has or has not. And the thing about it all is the law says no one should divulge or discuss that information in public. As the enforcer of the Tax Administration Act, it is for this reason that we are looking into the matter to see what needs to be done. However, we must not forget that there are various allegations in the book and in the publication itself that were made against the Commissioner of SARS, Mr. Tom Moyane, including that he is aiding the president to avoid paying his taxes. Now, that would be a serious offense, and then again, it's also alleged that the commissioner has paged a number of people who are now former SARS employees who were involved in the administering of the tax laws upon the president. And of course, we can't get into the details, but that's the thing, that we need to be seen as this organization to be upholding the law, and we believe that this would actually enhance and rebuild the trust that we need to have between the taxpayer and SARS.
While remaining with that story, the publishers of investigative journalist Jacques Pauw's book, The Prison's Keepers, have cautioned against downloading a pirated copy of the book, which is currently circulating on social media. In a statement released by NB Publishers a short while ago, it assures the public that the book is not banned and it continues to print more to meet the overwhelming demand and working to get them to the shops as soon as possible. In other stories, ANC Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa has lambasted the Gupta family and state capture. Ramaphosa was speaking at the Cadres Forum at eMalahleni in Mpumalanga. The meeting